podcast. Check it out.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show.
And now, your hosts of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the For Frequency's Sake Tag Team Champions of the World, the Wizard CZ, and Never Wrong Nick Bull.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting edition of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the podcast by the fan for the fan. Of course, we are sponsored and built by Lopez Pizza, or we're powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo. We are not joining you at our regularly scheduled time because, well, Wrestlemas just wrapped up. It was a 2-day event, 3 for some if you want to count SmackDown on Friday night, but we're going to break that down in a little bit. We're joining you here live late on Sunday night to give you our immediate reacts and, of course, give you some great wrestling insight. Of course, I am Never Wrong Nick Bull. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for finding us. We're so glad you're here. Feel free to interact with us. Hit us up on our socials or on the show chat itself. CZ will get your comments up. If you got something good to say, we'll show it. And speaking of CZ, he is my tag team partner. We are co-champs of the For Frequency's Sake Tag Team Championship Network, reigning, defending, and at all times always champs. We say it for a reason because we think we are and we know we are. That's why it is. He's my tag team partner. He is the one. He is the only. He is the Wizard CZ. Wizard, how are you doing?
Man, what a wild weekend. Wrestlemas, yeah, that says it all. I mean, this is like Christmas for us wrestling fans. This weekend, you have AEW's WrestleMania, essentially, NXT, the all-women's spectacle Evolution. We're all over the board. We're all over the map. There's so much to talk about and so much to break down. I don't know where to start.
I think we got to start with what we just saw. I mean, what do you think the lead story? What do you think the lead story is coming out of the weekend?
Oh, I think it's one of two. Honestly, I think
of course I'm talking wrestling world.
Right. I think there are two ways you can go. We can talk about the thing that just happened. Sorry. We can talk about what just happened, which was super surprising and exciting, or we could talk about some not so great news. But let's kick things off on a good note.
Oh.
Rhea and Io, in my opinion, put on the best women's match of the year so far. If it wasn't, it's damn close.
Is it the match of the weekend?
I would say yes.
Wow. Okay. Match of the weekend happens tonight. No, I kind of had that feeling. I'm like, this match to me was better than the 3-way match at WrestleMania between Io, Rhea, and Bianca.
Yeah.
Slightly better, in my opinion. I don't know. It's up there with Charlotte and Rhea for me. Charlotte and Rhea for me at 39 is such a good match, in my opinion. To me, it was better than the one at Mania this year. I don't know if it's better than this one. This one is really, really good. I'm looking forward to this, bringing you the show here tonight, Card Subject to Change, of course. But I'm very much looking forward to going back and watching the replay of that match. Just after watching it once, all that was going on, what an amazing match. And you know, with the all women's pay-per-view, of course, we're talking about here, along with everything else that happened this weekend, to the best of our ability. You know, you wanted to start off by talking about good things. This pay-per-view that the ladies put on tonight, the WWE Evolution pay-per-view, kind of gave WWE maybe a better taste in their mouth than what went down last night with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Potentially having a severe knee injury and looking at some considerable time off. Nothing's official, but it doesn't take a doctor to realize that he hurt his knee in that match and he's going to be out for some time. So no speculation here. I'm just going off what you saw, what I saw, what everyone else saw.
For sure.
So this show tonight to me felt like it was WWE out there trying to just put our minds as wrestling fans on something else instead of thinking about what happened last night. And I think they did a very good job. Good job with this pay. This pay-per-view went over 3 hours, exclusively with women's matches. Nothing to me seemed like it drug out too long. It was a well-paced show, in my opinion. So I want to give WWE their flowers after kind of taking it on the chin with losing Rollins last night for some time and kind of messing up storylines for a while. They're going to have to readjust here, but that's what the pros do. So I'm looking forward to what happens with them. But, yeah, this match at Evolution tonight, maybe your match of the weekend. I think we'll talk about a few other candidates as the night goes on. But
yes,
Io and Rhea at their best, and their best wasn't enough because they got foiled by the Money in the Bank cash in. So kind of throws different ways. Like, you thought Naomi would have cashed in on Tiffany, right? But not so fast. They threw us a curveball because Naomi is not on Raw. Or she?
No, she is a SmackDown
She's
star.
like most of SmackDown. So I like it. I like the move. It's a surprise. It's a swerve. Does it taint this match at all? No. This is going to be a triple threat, in my opinion, at SummerSlam. This match will be a triple threat. Io and Rhea will get their rematch. Wink, wink, nod, nod. And Naomi will defend. I think it's a triple threat for sure.
I don't know that I can disagree with that. And it's good because it's a different element than what we saw at WrestleMania. Right now on paper, we're looking at least 1 or 2 matches that are WrestleMania rematches going into SummerSlam. And while it's close because it was Io, Rhea, and Bianca, so we're right on that cusp there. It's a different feel now with Naomi and her new twist for her character.
Yeah, it's her 3rd championship. Kind of the first with this kind of new character. You know, the throwing caution to the wind, the wrapping herself in caution tape. You know, having the briefcase. It's kind of a new thing. So I'm interested to see how long they give the ball to Naomi.
Yeah.
You got to imagine SummerSlam's probably going to be a triple threat where she will defend and retain more than likely. It's kind of what I think. I also think WWE did a very wise thing in having Naomi cash in tonight because it takes the focus off, or, you know, it takes you thinking about the cash in for the women and puts the focus now on the men's qualifier. You know, the winner gets a shot at Gunther at WrestleMania in a match announced tonight.
Yeah.
So, in a gauntlet match. But, man, there's a lot going on right now. We've only just started to scratch the surface.
Oh, for sure. There's so much. This weekend was just epically chock full of wrestling. This is like the buffet that you go to and you overindulge yourself. And believe me, I know all about that. I don't think so. Maybe just a smidge, but I don't really think so. Because I think everything delivered as it was supposed to. Would I have liked to have had NXT running at a different time this weekend so it wasn't head-to-head with All In? Absolutely. Because I didn't get a chance. I know we had We were at the Highview. We had both on with NXT on mute to focus on All In, but I've had a busy day. I didn't get to go back and watch it like I wanted to.
There's so much wrestling out there. I mean, it's a great time. We've been talking about this past weekend for months. The build up to it just seemed like everyone had a show, and they did. And I want to give props to everybody because everybody put on a really good show this weekend. I can't sit here and say, oh, that was a crappy show that I watched. I mean, Saturday night's main event, the show must go on. People get injured. The show's got to continue. And that was where you seen it, in real time, a production figuring out what they need to do next and how they're going to do it, and so props to all the pros involved. A lot of good wrestling this weekend. I saw a lot of stuff I liked. Saw a lot more stuff I liked this weekend than I didn't like. And so that's good.
Let me ask you, with this potentially lengthy injury hiatus for Seth Rollins, what happens to that briefcase?
I personally think LA Knight and Braun should fight for it at SummerSlam. Winner gets the briefcase.
I can get behind that.
Because it sounds and looks like more than likely that Seth Rollins is not going to be able to he won't be back in time to cash in said Money in the Bank before it runs out. So there's no precedent set. It's pro wrestling. They can do whatever they want to do. I feel that would be, I feel that's got to be a match at SummerSlam. SummerSlam's 2 nights now, and you're without, one of your biggest stars. And it's not just him. It's Liv Morgan changed plans. Chad Gable changed plans being injured. People get injured. It's part of it. This isn't the first time injuries have popped up. It stinks for Seth. I'm bummed because that storyline has a lot of juice to it, in my opinion. It's got a lot of length. It's going to run for a long time because there's a lot of possibilities there. And Braun Breaker's a star. Does he step up and take over this group? Do they add a member? And what does that mean when Seth comes back? That's the question now. It's how bad is Seth's injury? Is he going to still come back? And when will he come back? And until then, we really can't say much more. I would imagine in the next couple of days, we'll get that foreboding announcement. And I'm bummed. I'm bummed for Seth Rollins, the wrestler. I'm bummed for Seth Rollins, the person. I don't need to list all the names. We know who he is and where he's from, and it's in our backyard. And I'm bummed for him because he was once again on this run, and now he's got to come back. And when those guys get injured, those guys and gals get injured, it's never really about the pain. It's about the pain they're going to feel on the way back. Rehab. Yeah. The rehab is the worst part,
and obviously we wish him a speedy recovery and hope that it's not as serious as everybody thinks it is. But I have a feeling it's we're going to hear that disappointing news that it's pretty bad.
While we're still talking about Evolution, before we hop around here, which we're going to be going around these shows like Carmen Sandiego back in the day. What
can we get if we're going around shows like we're chasing Carmen Sandiego? Can we get that a cappella group to sing a theme song for us?
Rockapella?
Yes.
I'm sure we could work out a deal. But what did you like from the show tonight, other than that main event we have raved about, which may be the match of the weekend?
Oh, that's a great question. Only one title changed hands. I was a little surprised by that. I thought overall it was a really good card. I guess I didn't really see the cash in coming. But looking back with the way that the no holds barred match ended was kind of a closing of that door for that storyline, wasn't it?
It absolutely was. Jade had to win this match. This is a la Seth losing to Randy Orton at WrestleMania 31. That match was much earlier in the card. This match was right before, was it not? Or 2 matches before the main event. Two matches before the main event. They did it perfect. Jade had to win that way. She had to destroy Naomi. That is over. It's now Jade on to Tiffy, as far as we know, unless something changes now that the cash-in has happened. So, yes, for Naomi, one door closes, and now another one opens. It opened. She kicked the door down. It's open, and now she's the new WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion.
I mean, it was nice seeing Trish Stratus there in a match.
It was nice seeing.
It was great seeing the legends in the crowd.
Dude, it was amazing seeing Trish Stratus. Come on, dude. She is amazing. She's a fine wine.
Yeah, I agree. I was talking with our friend Stryker. I'll name drop him. He seemed a little disappointed in how the show went. I think he was expecting more surprises, particularly in the Battle Royal. But who would they have really brought in unless, people speculate AJ Lee people have wanted AJ Lee to come back for months now. I don't think if she wasn't there tonight, she's not coming back. That's just my opinion.
Well, when they flash the graphic up and it's a 20 women, I count you just count and you realize there's not going to be any people in there. It's a battle royal.
Right.
And I can see why I could see Stryker saying that. I guess my expectations coming in, the show exceeded my expectations. I'm not saying it's the greatest show of all time, but it's got some matches that are worth rewatching on here. Like, there's some really good stuff on this show. The opener triple threat for the women's IC with Bayley, Becky, and Lyra. I love the story of these three. These three they can do another triple threat at SummerSlam again. I don't care. I mean, I do care. I want to see it. These guys work really, really well together. Becky escapes with the title. So it's not done with Becky and Bayley with these three. It's not done. Something's got to give. So that was a good opener. Like, I thought they did a really good job. And for the show, I mean, props to WWE Evolution tonight. I really enjoyed it.
I did too. I thought it was a great effort, solid show. I would honestly give it probably an A- if I were giving it a letter grade.
Yeah, I'll give it a B+. I'll give it a B+ letter grade. If we're gonna give letter grades for it, exceeded my expectations, so it was better than average. Possibly the women's match of the year on the WWE side, because I think we're going to talk about another women's match that might want their name mentioned. But definitely possibly the women's match of the year on the WWE side. Solid opener. The tag team 4-way was good. The Raquel thing and the Raquel and Roxanne thing, they're starting to gel a little bit. Man, this is going to be great when Liv Morgan comes back. Our buddy Mass goes, I can't wait till when Liv comes back, man. It's going to hit the fan, and he's right. Like, they're all going to look at her like, who are you? Like, it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for that. But a job well done. A job well done by WWE tonight. Women's wrestling. I know people were panning the ticket sales leading up to it. The build up to it wasn't probably as good as it could have been. If I'm going to knock this show, that's probably why I'll knock it. But the matches were good. They made sense. And I thought the show delivered. Like, I enjoyed it. I did not think it was a waste of time. I thought it was great. What are your thoughts going away from the show?
No, I thought it was excellent. I thought it was very well done. If I were to critique anything, it's the same critique I have for any multi-tag team matches. I'll drop a little tease. Tune in to our Substack on Thursday. I talk about my qualms with fatal 4-way tag matches, 3-way tag matches, and maybe even touch on a couple of other things. That's coming in my article this week. But no, if that's my biggest problem, is that I don't like the format of those multi-team tag matches. It's definitely far from the end of the world.
Any other matches from this show stick out for you?
I mean, really, the Battle Royal was well put together. I liked how it ended. I would have liked to see Chelsea in the final 4 or even the final 2, but I thought it was well put together. And kudos to Stephanie Vaquer. Big things. She's gonna walk away with that title before we know it.
Clash after SummerSlam.
Yes.
Who is she going to be facing? That's going to be interesting.
Clash is at the end of August.
I can't wait for that French crowd again. Cannot wait.
For sure.
No, that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one. Well, that puts a wrap, we'll put a little bow, check mark by Evolution here. Fine job by WWE. CZ says A-. I say B+. But we're right there. We're splitting hairs here when it comes down to it in terms of that. But match of the night for sure, Rhea, Io. And I guess you have to include Naomi because she won the match. But the match started out as a one-on-one match. Very good match from WWE, possibly the women's match of the year so far. You're listening to Card Subject to Change, the podcast by the fan for the fan. Of course, I'm your host, never wrong, Nick Bull. He's the Wizard CZ. We are powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, and colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo. Thank you for staying up late with us. Chime on in on the discussion. Let us know what you think, what your feelings were from this past weekend. Where are we going next with?
Man, I don't know. Where do you want to go next?
I think we got to talk about AEW All In. I think we have to. Since we already kind of touched on Seth, we'll save that show for a little bit later. But let's talk about All In. Let's give AEW some love here. If you watched All In yesterday, you were a part of professional wrestling history. All In became the longest pay-per-view lengthwise in history yesterday at 5 hours and 57 minutes. It replaces WrestleMania 35, which ran at 5 minutes and 24 seconds. Although I normally wouldn't complain about 6 straight hours of wrestling, I will add, watching the show changed my night's plans significantly.
Yes.
6 hours for a show is a little bit ludicrous.
Just a little?
And when I give it a letter grade, I will knock off some because of the length. But that's about all I'm going to say to bash AEW on this. It was a very good show, maybe among their best in their 5+ year history. Some big matches, some big moments. They advertised it as a triple main event. I thought the first half of the show was a little slow. It seemed it was with the length of matches. But once we got, there were good matches throughout, but once we got to those last 3 matches, we were cooking. They were cooking with something special. And
yes.
3 matches I'm talking about that close out the show are, of course, the AEW Women's Championship. Current holder was Toni Storm going into the match, defending against Mercedes Moné, who has about 9 belts. Then it was Okada Omega for not quite a title unification, but the debut of the AEW Unified World Champion. So I don't know, does this belt count as like their second world championship?
You could kind of look at it that way. I don't really know.
Something to think about and look at here as we come up here in the next few months. How is it viewed and talked about and treated? But and then of course the main event. John Moxley, Hangman Page, and the main event for the AEW World Championship that hadn't been seen since October. So those were your 3 main events, and I'm going to have you talk about. I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to answer what were your favorite moments from the show that weren't from those 3 matches?
Okay, that's pretty easy. Christian Cage losing his family and the return of Cope.
Okay.
He's still Edge. I'm sorry. I can't call him Cope.
Either.
He's Edge.
I can't either. He's Edge to me. He always will be Edge to me. I mean, it's not like a disrespect thing to AEW. You call somebody that long, that's no. But yeah, that was good. I loved Dustin Rhodes winning the TNT Championship. His first single title since the Intercontinental Championship in WWF, which it was then, in 1996. He's been a tag time champ several times over in different promotions. And currently he's a trios champ, or a 6-man champ in Ring of Honor, and a tag team champ in Ring of Honor. And now you can call him the TNT champ. So I was super pumped for Dustin Rhodes. I have a new favorite tag team finishing move, and I think it debuted yesterday, and that was by Swerve Strickland and Ospreay. Will Ospreay in their match. I guess you would call it the House Blade. It is a house call, hidden blade.
Why not call it the hidden call?
What they call it?
No, why not call it the hidden call?
I don't know what they call it.
I don't know what they
I was
call
just
it.
guessing.
I like the hidden call better, but the House Blade, that works too.
But amazing. That was awesome. That popped me. Like, I was like, what was that? That was cool. And hats off to the Young Bucks. I thought that was a good match. Maybe went on a little bit long, but still, I thought it was an excellent match. But props to Swerve and Ospreay for having a tremendous tag match with the Bucks and having that awesome finisher. So that was cool. That was
very
cool.
much so. Very cool. Not to bring the mood down, but the reason that Dustin Rhodes is now the TNT champion is because, unfortunately, Adam Cole was not cleared to compete. Reason being an undisclosed health issue. So Adam Cole relinquished the championship and, for all intents and purposes, gave what felt like a farewell speech at All In.
Yeah, it got pretty emotional there. I feel bummed for the dude. I really do. Like, I cannot think about NXT Black and Gold and not have him pop up immediately. He's one of the guys that comes out.
Absolutely.
Like, what an amazing run he had there. I feel this is something maybe along the concussion line of things. I don't think he's got any knee or ankle injuries. He was walking just fine. I think this is kind of more on the head side of things. And man, I hope that he's fine. And if it's his choice, I hope he's, and he wants to, I hope he someday comes back to wrestling, because he was pretty tore up yesterday when he made that announcement, as were several fans.
Yeah, very much so. You never like to see something like that, and I hope that everything's all right and he's able to come back. You mentioned the Black and Gold of NXT. That he was one of my top favorites during that, pun intended, era.
Yeah,
his feuds and his rivalries, being the first North American champion, going on to hold the NXT championship, and just, it was great. I don't think that he got as much out of AEW as he should have, but that also he was kind of snake bit with injuries throughout his tenure.
he was. He and MJF headlined the second All In, or was it the first All in London? I think it was the first one.
I believe
it was
the first
one. So hang tight, stay close. We don't know if it's goodbye, but it sure felt like it yesterday when Adam Cole was in the ring. Anything else you want to talk about All In wise before we talk about 3 championship matches, or any other thing you want to add?
I mean, we'll highlight MJF being able to cash in to get into the championship opportunity.
MJF was able to win the Casino Gauntlet going back and looking at match run time, this was a match I thought they could have got 10 minutes trimmed off. You start trimming some time off matches, and this show doesn't seem so long. But once again, it's a complaint. It's a small one. It's probably the biggest one that everybody else has. But the wrestling I saw was some good stuff for the most part.
And with that Casino Gauntlet, kudos to Athena, who should have been on the main roster in that main title picture for a long time now, but is the forever ROH Women's Champion. So that she has some cred, but why she hasn't been featured on their main shows is
that remains to be seen. Maybe we're now going to see her be more pushed predominantly now that she won that spot. So kudos to her. The match of these three that had my lowest expectations going in turned out to be, I think, the best match of these three. And that's Timeless Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné. And I'll be the first to say, hey, okay, I have ragged and bagged on Mercedes Moné on this show. I don't necessarily like her as a person. I don't know her. I've never met her. I thought her better wrestling days were behind her. Just this run in AEW had not impressed me. The last few months have. And I think yesterday was the icing on the cake for it. That match with Toni Storm, the buildup was really good. I wish that match had more time to build, because Toni was just coming off the Hollywood ending match with Mariah May, which was amazing. If you haven't caught my drift, Toni Storm is, we're past the midway part of 2025. Toni Storm's probably your female wrestler of the year so far, if we did a mid-season or a mid-year awards, which we don't. She's put it up, and she's far and away AEW's best made homegrown character since their start of their company. She is their best character, bar none. That it is amazing. And to me right now, she's the front runner for the female wrestler of the year.
Well, yeah, I can't think of anyone who's
that match.
I mean, Mercedes
was amazing in that match. They're good dance partners. They work well together. This will not be the last time they wrestle. I would anticipate they wrestle within the next 2 to 3 months again, with Mercedes maybe even taking the belt off her. Who knows? I know that match to me felt like a moment when it ended, when Toni Storm hit that Storm Zero, excuse me, from the second rope. I knew it was over. Like, that was an amazing ending. I thought Mercedes would probably win and take the first one, if you theoretically think of, as wrestling fans do, in threes, right? Oh, you got to make this into a 3-match trilogy. I thought Mercedes would have won, but she didn't. I was surprised. I was shocked. And I feel this was my favorite match on the card for after the show for all Elite yesterday for AEW.
It was definitely the best match of all in, for sure. Better, where do you put it against Io and Rhea tonight?
Man, splitting hairs. I want to go back and watch the Evolution match twice, since I have watched I have watched Tony and Mercedes twice. So I want to go back and watch it, but we're splitting hairs. We saw 2 really good matches right there. 2 really strong contenders for your match of the month here, July, and on the card subject to change. And it's going to be interesting to see if that changes between now and then.
Very much. I don't think there's another big event before.
And stuff could happen on TV. But yeah, stuff could happen match wise. But I don't know.
True, anything is possible. Well, I don't know what I was going to say.
We got two more matches. We got two more matches to discuss.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Okada,
That's where I was kind
Omega.
of steering the rig towards.
Which one do you want to talk about first?
I mean, we may as well save the main event for the main event. Okada Omega. Honestly, I was impressed. I thought it was a good match. I was expecting Omega to come away with the win. I was surprised that he didn't.
Yeah, I know this was a much talked about match for fans everywhere, internet wrestling community everywhere. Like everybody wanted this match because those guys captured magic in Japan years ago, and it was a tremendous match. Kenny since has had surgery. Okada's 8 years older, much like Omega was. I think a lot of people had their expectations a little too high on this match. Now, to me, the match was very slow to start. It was slow in the middle, but like the last 2 to 3 minutes of this match are really, really, really fast-paced and good. It's not to say the match wasn't good. I enjoyed this match. I had the understanding or kind of thought process or mindset going in that there was no way this match was going to top the other ones they had. It just wasn't. Time's not on either one side. So I was happy with the match, but I think a lot of people probably weren't happy about the match.
Right. No, I can agree with that. I wasn't really overly impressed. I think the hype building up to it was a bit more. I was expecting more.
Are you shocked that Okada won?
Yeah, I thought for sure Omega would walk away with that win. I really did.
I think there'll be a rematch here down the line. Sooner rather than later. They won't wait 7 or 8 years this time to have another match.
I would hope.
And I
not.
hope it's. But I'm not.
Do we see 2 more matches though? Because this is a tiebreaker. This was a tiebreaker match.
We don't need 2 more, but we can get 1 more.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What did you think about the main event?
This is where I'm going to kind of rail on AEW a bit. I am so over the death match thing being done, the Texas death match stipulation in AEW. I'm over it. It's so overdone. 2 minutes into this match, we got Jon Moxley bleeding from the top of the head from a fork. 2 minutes in. There wasn't a lot of wrestling in this. And, it
was a brawl.
For a company that's all elite wrestling, a company that tells you they're not sports entertainment, they're wrestling, this match to me was a disappointment. It was a letdown, even though Hangman won, because there was so much crap going on outside. People are going to be like, well, this reminds me of Bloodline Rules, at WrestleMania when Cody finished his story. I guess you could say Hangman was trying to finish his story. This felt more overbooked than Bloodline Rules did.
That was going to be my question for you.
The answer is yes. This match was, in my opinion, more overbooked than Bloodline Rules. But I guess the good thing coming out of this is we get these character arcs. We don't only get the end of Moxley carrying around a briefcase with a title belt that hasn't been seen in nearly 10 months. We'll say 9 months, right? Was it 9 months?
Right.
9 months. We get Hangman now, who has returned. He's returned to the side of good. He's coming out to his old theme. He comes out from the face side. We get Swerve, his sworn enemy, coming to help him to make sure to end this bad. Like it was a wonderful thing to see. I just wish the match in the ring was better. And I know it was a blow off to a feud. I allow room for that. I get that. But just not a fan of bleeding from a fork 2 minutes into the match. But it was a good match. It was a good event. The outcome was favorable for what I was wanting with Hangman to win. I just wish there was a little more in-ring action in the main event.
I don't disagree. I
got to take a breath. Sorry.
No, you're fine. It was, for all intents and purposes, it was a brawl. It wasn't a wrestling match. And you're right. For a company that claims to be the wrestling company, this is where the best come to wrestle. This is a street fight. This is a couple of thugs hitting each other with weapons. For all intents and purposes,
I hope we're going in a different direction now.
Yes.
I'm guessing Moxley may take some time off. He's had a heck of a run at top. But I'm excited as a fan, a wrestling fan, to see what's new, what's next for AEW. Very much so. Very, very excited for that.
And we give our opinions later in the week. We're gonna have the kick out. We're gonna talk about where we think AEW is gonna go. So tune in to that on Wednesday before Dynamite.
You see what I did there? Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna Barry Horowitz myself right here and just pat myself on the back.
All
nobody
right.
else. If nobody else is gonna do it, then by goodness, I'm gonna do it.
Fair enough.
This is the card subject.
Let's take a bit of a breather.
What's that?
Oh, what were you saying? Go ahead.
Card Subject Change podcast by the fan for the fan. Of course, we're powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo. Thank you so much for following along, coming with us. You were saying something about wanting a break, and I agree. I want one too. Can we have a break?
Yeah, let's take a pause here real quick and talk about the Toys for Tots League. We'll be back in just about 45 seconds.
Football season is just around the corner, and once again, For Fantasy's Sake is running its annual Toys for Tots Fantasy Football Leagues. Don't miss your chance to be crowned the best fantasy football player in the Quad Cities. The For Fantasy's Sake Toys for Tots Bowl is loaded with great prizes and even better local celebrity participants, ranging from professional athletes and news personalities to your favorite FFSQC personalities. To sign up, just visit For Frequency's Sake on Facebook or Twitter and follow the links.
So Boss of the Plains, the one call man, is the WXW Unified World Wrestling Champion. And you're listening to Card Subject to Change. Happy 3-year anniversary. Cheers to you.
Welcome back to the show.
That's cool. That's cool. Getting a happy birthday wish from the current WXW champion, your friend, my friend, a friend to many, the one called Manders. How cool is that?
Very cool. Very, very awesome. And shout out to our friend Stryker for taking the time to record that for us. But, you know, Manders hit the nail on the head. 3 years coming up at the end of the month, beginning of August. I think we need to do something, Nick. What do you think?
Throw those threes up. The franchise, like Shane Douglas. Yeah. Time to celebrate something, right? Let's do some celebrating. Da-da-da.
That being said, Thursday, July 31st, the night before our official 3-year birthday, we will be having a live podcast broadcast. We'll be doing our pseudo panel show for SummerSlam. We'll be at Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill in Rock Island. And guess what? You can join us. The fun starts at 6:30. The live broadcast starts at 7. But Nick, we're gonna have some swag to give away. We're gonna have some prizes. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And if I have something to say about it,
cake.
Somebody's face is going into a cake. DJ Jarvis.
Well, hopefully it's not mine. I think we have some ideas on who it might be, but come on, hop on out and join us. July 31st will be our third birthday. Of course, our birthday is August 1st, but we wanted to take that day off because August 2nd, 3rd is SummerSlam. So we're going to be talking a lot about SummerSlam on July 31st, and of course, talking a lot about what we've accomplished or what we've covered here in our first 3 years. So we are absolutely looking forward to that. Come on out. It's free. Sign up for prizes and gifts, giveaways, and have yourself something to eat there at Cavanaugh's. Great place, great venue. They're letting us use that back deck. We'll be doing the podcast live. Looking forward to seeing and hearing from a lot of you there.
Please come and join us. We are, as being the podcast for the fan, by the fan, we want you, the fan, to be with us as we celebrate 3 years and move into year number 4.
Great. And the Wizard has volunteered to be the human pinata before we open presents. So he is gonna be the human pinata, and he's gonna be too banged up, and I will open all the presents and get to keep them. If
anybody brings a kendo stick, there may be some heat between whoever brings it and me. I'm just throwing that out there.
Dude, I'll take a shot across the back.
Well, that's fair. There you go. There you go. Nick's going to take a shot from a kendo stick.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to
take a shot from me.
We'll see how that works. We'll
Oh, did you see his eyes light up, everybody? Ooh, I get to hit my co-host, don't I? Yeah.
We while we're kind of in the middle of shows here and talking about things over, yes, we got our birthday party, but don't forget, right above Nick's head in the corner there, sign up for the Toys for Tots Fantasy Football League. It's for a great cause. You can it's a small donation to join our league and help us pick up toys at Christmas for all the needy kids out there. And we have a couple spots left for our league. I think we're 4 away from being 2 full leagues. So join us.
I think we can get 3.
Yeah, I'm all about it. Let's get 3. So yeah, if you're a fantasy football player, definitely join us. Excited to see you, and hey, strikers in the comments, giving us kudos. Definitely was a seriously crazy weekend. I agree, Striker. Very much so.
It was, dude. One for the record books. Absolutely. A lot of stuff is going to be remembered. Yesterday, of course, long day, all in. Saturday night's main event, which we've talked briefly about. We'll talk more about here shortly. And, of course, Great American Bash we have yet to talk about. So I think we probably should go towards Great American Bash. I'm leaning too.
I mean,
probably won't. I mean, I'm not going to rip on it or anything. I love NXT, as you know. I'm probably one of NXT's biggest fans when it comes to talking about them on this podcast. Enjoy their Tuesday night show. This one, I just kind of felt uneasy about it a little bit because it was going up against All In head-to-head. And although we've had them both on, we had the bigger show sound on, in my opinion, and that was All In.
All In kind of overshadowed.
This NXT had some good stuff. So if you're an NXT fan like myself, I think you need to go back and watch the Obafemi Uemura match. Is a hard-hitting match. It's a Haas fight. 2 dudes just beating the crap out of each other. Worth a watch. The opener with Javon Evans. I love Javon Evans, dude. He's like my rookie that I'm rooting for here. He's fun, and him and Jasper Troy, big size mismatch there. Very entertaining match. I liked it. It's a good little show. Whoa! We got to go back and give letter grades for All In.
Do we have to? All right, fair enough. I'll let you go first.
If it wasn't 6 hours, I would have given it an A+.
Fair. It
It is 6 hours, so I'm giving it an A-.
I think I would have been more in the A range, just the straight A, but I gotta say a B plus for the same reason you give it an A-. So again, we're right there, splitting hairs again.
Right. I'll let you give your letter grade. Well, no, you confess you weren't able to see a lot of the NXT due to everything that was going on, and I get that. It's a solid show. I really liked the Page Saints.
Let's talk about that.
Is it a street fight? What is
False
this?
count anywhere.
What was it? They were beating
False
the crap
count
out of
anywhere.
It was what? False count anywhere. Yep, that makes sense. What do you want to talk about?
So Saints did not win. Saints took the loss. Ethan Page retains the North American Championship. Is Saints coming up to the main roster now?
Boy, if you didn't think so before Saturday night's main event last night and Seth Rollins going down, you start to wonder it now. Are we going to get somebody called up here soon? I think he got beat. He got beat by Ethan Page last time, pretty convincingly, and he got beat by him this time in kind of a blow off. So Saints putting Page over, making Page look good. You go out on your back. Maybe Saints debuts. Where does he debut?
That's a great question.
How does he come in? He's kind of a face now, right? Maybe he won't be when he comes up, or how they bring him in. I don't know.
Let me follow up. Maybe a follow-up question. And this is just opinion. If you look at this match as the winner is staying on NXT to hold the North American Championship and the loser is getting called up, is Ricky Saints the right call? Or is it too early in his WWE run to call up?
I don't think it's too early. I think they know what they have with him. It was kind of more getting him acclimated to the WWE environment, to the WWE style match, to the WWE style, how they do things. That's how I view it. Him losing the Page is nothing because you know what? Naomi got her butt kicked tonight and pinned by Jade Cargill 1, 2, 3. And who walked out at the end of the night? Naomi as a new champion. So no, nothing. It doesn't hurt him to lose here to Page. Gives Page a little more validity to his title reign. Gives him a little more of a bump. And then I think a lot of people are kind of using the rationale that you're using, Wizard, and that I'm kind of explaining here, and we've kind of both agreed upon in other conversations, is that Saints seems to be on his way up. It's just where and when. I think it's sooner.
I think both of them are on their way up. I would have been fine with either one of them coming away with that North American Championship and their counterpart coming up into
I could be sold on this, Striker, but I've got a hot SummerSlam take, but I'm going to save it for the birthday party.
Striker, if you're not watching and you're listening after the fact, says that he'd love to see Saints screw over Cody at SummerSlam.
Have Saints screw Cody at SummerSlam. I like it. I'm not saying it's not. I like that. I do like that rationale there. I'm saving my hot take though for SummerSlam and what's going to happen for Kavanaugh's third birthday party. I think we'll be talking a lot.
That's what we in the biz call a teaser.
That's right, boys. So the NXT, good show to go back and watch. You get Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe against Fatal Influence in the tag championship. The members of Fatal Influence, besides JC Jane, because JC Jane had her match tonight against Jordan Grace on the Evolution show. But this show's not bad. It's not NXT's best effort. I'd probably give it a B-.
That's fair.
A B-, maybe a C+. Not because it's not good. It's just there's a lot of other things going on. It's probably the last thing probably the last thing on the list of things to watch, considering all the events that happen on the other shows. But it's onward and upward for NXT. They were a part of like a triple shot weekend with Saturday night's main event last night and the Evolution thing today for WWE. So I like the show, but I'm an NXT homer. So, but I'll give it a low B minus. We're talking like an 80.
Here's your new tagline. It's not a prediction. It's never wrong.
Stryker, you're not wrong. You're not
just
wrong.
like you're never wrong.
That's right. He's not wrong, and I'm never wrong.
Well, we may as well address the elephant in the room that is Saturday night's main event. Kudos to WWE for making the best of a bad situation. We talked at the beginning about Rollins getting injured. Never want to see that happen. I hope it's not as serious as they're saying it is, but we'll see. In the next couple of days, we're going to learn a lot more, I'm sure. But they really had to scramble, and I think the main event would have been completely different if that injury hadn't happened. I kind of have a feeling, I want to go out on a limb. There's been some speculation about maybe Rollins would have cashed in at the end of the match. Maybe Roman Reigns would have come back. We'll never know. You know?
You know what? We'll never know. Maybe it's a kick-out topic for 3 years from now when we do know more of these details. But, you know, people are like, you've never worked till you've worked in the public. Worked with the public. I could see that. CZ and I, as former TV guys, you haven't worked till you've worked in live television. And these problems come up on a basis every day if you're in a newsroom or work for television news, doing live stuff. Anything that goes live, there's problems with. And yeah, I'm sure they scrambled a few minutes for time because I'm sure that Rollins LA Knight match was supposed to go much longer. Bill Goldberg's speech got cut off at the end of the show due to timing issues because they were thrown off. So there's that.
Was it because of timing issues, or was Bret Hart in the truck? Let's be honest.
I don't know. I haven't talked to Bret today to tell you.
That's fair. I haven't either.
But you know, injuries happen, and this one's happened to be on live national television at the end of a very long day of wrestling, and this so happened to be, you know, probably the number one heel in the company right now, besides Cena, who's the, you know, it's at the worst possible time for WWE, probably the worst possible time for Seth Rollins. He's had knee injuries before. You got to ask, how bad is this one? How bad is it considering the other ones? You know, he's got some decisions to make, and he's going to have time to do it. So we hope for a speedy recovery. But that you know, them scrambling around, that wasn't like a Raw where they had everybody there. They probably just had specific people there for the show. You know, it wasn't probably, you know, other people off doing stuff for the weekend. I'm guessing not everybody was there. Good question, Stryker. What's next for the Money in the Bank briefcase? It's a great question. If I had it my way, I would have Braun Breaker and LA Knight wrestle at SummerSlam in the opening match of night one for the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah. I'd be a fun match. I mean,
not a ladder match,
just
a regular match. Winner gets the briefcase. I'm fine with that. 2, here's what I'm fine with. We've never had someone win the briefcase and not be able to cash it in due to injury. if they did, they would have a match or a storyline to rid of it. That's not happening. So maybe he can will it on to Braun Breaker. Maybe that's the case. That's the two things I kind of see happening right now. But I would love for LA Knight to get that Money in the Bank briefcase. I really would. I think this is LA Knight's time. You've got Seth Rollins out for a period of time now, Chad Gable, Liv Morgan. I know I'm missing some others. But after SummerSlam is over, ladies and gentlemen, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns are going to be gone doing a movie, a Street Fighter movie. I think last night, if anything was going to go down, I think it was going to be Roman Reigns coming back to set something up with Seth at SummerSlam. That's off the table probably now, more than likely. So kudos to them. And of course, with Saturday night's main event, you had Bill Goldberg and Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. The match was billed as Bill Goldberg's final match. Championship was on the line. This is Gunther's first defense since beating Jey Uso on that Monday Night Raw to start his second reign. What were your I think expectations were low for this match, but after watching it, what did you think?
I mean, sure, expectations were low, but like I said, they made the best of a bad situation, and I think this match was everything it needed to be and everything it could have been. I mean, of course, you had Bill Goldberg jackhammering Gunther like he pulled the 727 out of the sky, dropped him right down on the mat.
I'll tell you what. I'll give Bill Goldberg his flowers right now. Like when that jackhammer move was so perfect for him, and I really do like it as a finishing move. Our boy, the Devil Dog, uses it, and Devil Dog Dustin Mosley, shout out. I hope you're doing well out there, buddy. Hit us up. We need to chat sometime soon. But the way he threw Gunther around, I just love when the big dudes are throwing each other around like they're throwing a luchador around. It's awesome, and that's a good visual. That's a good visual of Bill Goldberg doing that to Gunther. Stryker mentioning Josh Barnett walking out with Goldberg. How about Ernest the Cat Miller in that?
Doug Dillinger.
Was that what color was that shirt? Was it like a coral shirt, a pink shirt? What was it? But yeah, Josh Barnett of UFC fame, mixed martial art fame. Of course, there's going to be a blood sport the weekend of SummerSlam. So we'll have to figure out that Triller subscription when it comes back around. But regardless, I'm a Gunther super fan. It's not a secret. I think he's awesome. He's amazing. He's what I love about wrestling. I never liked Goldberg. It's nothing against Goldberg. I was more of a WWF guy. Even when I watched WCW, you would watch see what the NWO was doing. You loved the cruiserweights. I loved the TV title mid-card stuff. I was never a fan of Goldberg. It sounds like he's a great guy. Takes time for the fans, which is cool. But I just never was a fan. And to have my favorite wrestler take out Bill Goldberg, and even though and the fact that I'm also a big Bret Hart fan, puts things to rest. It kind of, this one feels extra special, and props to Goldberg and props to Gunther. They both made each other look good in this match. This is not a classic.
No.
Like, this might be 2 3/4, maybe 3 stars on a good day, depending on what your mood is. But it got the job done. Goldberg didn't look like a fool. He went out there for nearly 14 and a half minutes, and Gunther gave it to him and got a butt kicking in the turn. So I think it did what it was supposed to do. But the Rollins injury is always going to be the thing that comes up about this.
I think there's going to be something else that comes out of this really big. How excited are you for Randy Orton and Jelly Roll against Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. I know you're a big Jelly Roll fan. You're a big closet fan. You just don't want to admit it. I know you've got to be stoked for that match.
One of these things is not like the other. I've seen 3 of those guys in countless pay-per-view matches, and I have never walked away from any one of those matches being like, man, Randy Orton sucks. Man, Drew McIntyre sucks. Logan Paul sucks. Never. Those 3 guys are really good and entertaining. Come on. I know they're trying to do what they can. I don't know. Would you rather see Jelly Roll in there or Travis? Travis Scott.
No, Travis Scott. I'd rather see Jelly Roll. Striker says, put it in the Tokyo comments, 5 stars.
He's going to get a pop. He's in there with pros. He's going to get a pop. He's in there with pros. My thing when they bring celebrities in, if you're going to do a wrestling move, take it serious and look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I
mean, I'm sure Jelly Roll's a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy. I see a lot of his videos, and it seems like he does it for the right reasons. But though I'm not as discouraged, I guess it's more of an eye roll thing for me. I remember I was so pissed off after Gunther lost. I knew he was going to lose to Jey Uso at WrestleMania. You know that. I talked about it for months that he was going to. The match with Pat McAfee, I felt I didn't really go anywhere, but I liked it by the time it was over. I hope we're not talking very much about the Jelly Roll thing on the panel show or on the after show.
I agree. Final question in that, guys. Jelly Roll, will he be better or worse than Drew Carey in the Royal Rumble?
This isn't Jelly Roll's first time. I think he was on the show that we first reviewed, right? SummerSlam 2022.
I think you're right.
Was he on that?
So. I'd have to go back and look.
Or was he at SummerSlam in Cleveland? It's one of, anyways, he's been on SummerSlam before. So, yeah, he's done some stuff before. So, no. I just don't want to see Jelly Roll wrestle. Give that spot to somebody else. But I get it. It's pro wrestling. It's an attraction. You're trying to get as many people on it as you can. I get it. And people are going to watch because of him. Smart move on WWE's part. Saturday night's main event, my letter grade. I'm going C+.
Yeah.
They made the best of a bad situation. Matches were okay. It's going to be more of a moment show. People are going to go back and remember that's when Seth Rollins injured his knee real bad, and that's when Gunther put Goldberg to sleep and ended his career. That's what that show is going to be known for. Still entertaining though. A day of wrestling where it started at 2 and ended around 9. And then if you go back and watch stuff, it went well into the night last night. So a long weekend. I hope you all had as merry of a Wrestlemas as I did.
Absolutely. This was a lot of fun. A lot of good stuff out there that's worth going back and watching. We talked.
Striker, hey, hold on. I got to jump on this real quick because Striker Interactive, one of our biggest fans, and we absolutely love Striker. Dude, he's got the hookup, okay? We did see Jelly Roll do a choke slam to Theory and Waller. If I remember correctly, Jelly Roll got those 2 guys up higher for a choke slam than Undertaker ever did. If you go back and watch that film, like Theory and Waller made Jelly Roll look like a phenomenon. So I had to say that, Striker. Thank you for adding to that. Thank you for following along tonight, being a fan of the show, being an overall good dude, man. But what were you going to say, CZ? I'm so sorry.
I was just going to say, I think you and I think there's a lot of good stuff to go back and watch. I think I don't think we're going to go back. I don't think anybody's going to go back in 3 or 4 years and say, man, I really want to watch All In 2025 in its entirety. I don't think anybody's going to say that. But no,
You'll watch some matches for it for sure.
Right. But I'm not going to sit through a 6-hour pay-per-view for a second time.
No, I probably won't either. Maybe someday in a snowstorm or when it's raining. But since CZ has brought it to our attention, hey, the secret's out. We're having a birthday party. It's the Card Subject to Change 3rd birthday party. When you ask, on Thursday, July 31st. But that's not your birthday, guys. We know. That's when we're observing it. Our birthday is Friday, August 1st. Thought we'd give you a day off of wrestling since SummerSlam is the 2nd and 3rd. Now, we will be at Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill in Rock Island Thursday, July 31st. Fun kicking off at 6:30. Live podcast, more than likely going to be a SummerSlam preview. Bring guests on. We'll be live at 7. Hope to see you all there for our 3rd birthday party.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
You did. You did fantastic.
All right.
It's almost like you're a pro.
It's like I've done this before or something. I don't know.
Speaking of things that are coming up, not only do we have our 3rd birthday party in just a couple weeks, but next week we are welcoming a prominent star here in the Midwest, the Death Dealer. Next Sunday, we're back at our normal time at 6:30 with the Death Dealer. We'll talk all things wrestling, and I can't wait for Nick to pop the big question: why pro wrestling?
Exactly. It's the question that keeps on asking.
Oh yeah, I'm doing great. I'm just straight.
Hey, I'm gonna let everybody behind the curtain here. We are Garth Brooks will be in attendance at the 3rd birthday party. You have booked Garth Brooks, CZ. Take the day off. Take the day off. Long weekend. You okay over there, partner?
I'm up about an hour and a half past my normal bedtime. I won't lie.
I was gonna let people behind the curtain. We are normally CZ sleeping by now, so we are well past his bedtime, and we're probably gonna wrap this thing up. But we're
probably.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. I'll wrap it up here. How about that? Thank you for coming along with us on this magical journey into the professional wrestling world. We had a great Wrestlemas weekend. How about you? Reach out to us on socials. Let us know what you thought of said weekend, what your match of the weekend was. Yeah, we had a lot of fun this weekend, and there's more wrestling ahead. That is for sure.
Big time. Big time. Thank you all for staying up late with us here as we reviewed a wild and raucous weekend full of just chock full of wrestling. Something out there for everybody. We appreciate you, the fans. This is the Card Subject to Change podcast, the podcast by the fan, for my tag team partner, Never Wrong Nick Bull. I am the Wizard CZ. Of course, we are powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo. And don't forget to sign up for the Toys for Tots Fantasy Football League. We're expecting to see as many people who watch our show in our leagues for sure. But that's going to wrap things up for tonight. We will see you next weekend for Card Subject to Change. And, of course, we'll be back on Wednesday for the Kickout. Can't wait. You guys have a good rest of your night.
This has been a For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency's Sake on YouTube.